Well, good morning, friends, and welcome to Yoga Faith Flow with Tanya. We'll be working today on core and balance. So when we talk about core, we're not just talking about the abs, and especially those tricky little lower abs. We're also talking about the obliques and the back, all of this working together to keep us stable and strong. So welcome to your mats this morning. Let's sit well. And just take a collective deep breath together. If you'd like, sit on your block or bolster just like I am. It lets the hip flexors relax just a little bit here. And welcome to Yoga Faith, y'all. So this morning, and all this month actually, we are taking a look at walking with Jesus is my theme. So what does that mean? Walking with Jesus, looking at his word, studying his word, connecting with him in prayer, being surrounded by like-minded people who encourage us on walking that walk with us. So thinking and praying through what that might mean to you as we get started today. A reminder that this is your practice. You know your body well. It is a temple for the Holy Spirit, so honoring your body well. There is no suffering in yoga. Feel free to add or take away from anything that we do on the mat here today. Make this your own. Choose your freedom posture, freedom form, coming back to something that feels more comfortable to you. And I'm just so grateful you've been able to join me on your mat at home today from the comfort of our homes. Welcome. So walking with Jesus, what that means to you, what that means to us, reflecting on that, meditating on that as we flow together today. Make sure before we get started you've done your one and done waiver for my online classes. That keeps me accountable in a virtual age. And also if you'd like to donate to my fitness ministry, it goes right back into my continuing education, retreats, planning. It blesses me. So thank you, and I really do appreciate your generous donations. So as we get started today, let's look at our opening scripture. It's Micah 6:8. He has told you, O man, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you but to do justice and to love kindness and to walk humbly with your God? Micah 6:8. So as we get started today, most importantly, let's focus on the breath. And I'd like you to do something a little different than we normally do. Sometimes we do a hand to the heart, a hand to the belly. Please feel free to do that if you'd like. Or bring your hands to the sides of your rib cage. And it may feel a little strange, but let's try the breath here together. Let's close the eyes if that feels comfortable, or at least have a soft gaze down towards the short edge of your mat. Let's inhale together. And then exhale with a sigh. Try that again. Inhale. Exhale. You may notice the rib cage expanding. Isn't that a beautiful thing? Let's thank God for that next breath. Inhale together. Exhale. Do a couple more just like this, inhaling together. Letting the breath go. Settling the mind, the body, and the spirit. Next breath together. And let that breath go. Lovely. Let's bring the palms on top of the thighs or on top of the knees, wherever it's comfortable. Open the palms as if receiving blessing. Thank you for taking this time to create space on your mat, for him to move, for you to be still, and for us to listen for him and with him, because we're on this walk together, right? Let's breathe in one more time. And let go. Let me open our time in prayer. Jesus, you are the hope of my calling, my ultimate destiny, and my ultimate destination. You are my way and my companion along the way. I fully and freely give myself to you again today, setting my foot on the pathway in front of me with confidence, hope, and expectation. Amen. Beautiful prayer from Lectio 365. Beautiful prayer app. So we're going to start actually on our back. So make your way to your back. Get comfortable here. Keep that bolster or block handy. You may need it during your practice today. Let's draw the chest in, or knees towards the chest, and hold this here. Nice knees to chest. You can bring the hands maybe to the backs of the thighs or underneath the knees, maybe finding a slow rock here. And then we're going to bring the arms wide. Wide T stands for the arms. Notice that expansion you may feel in the chest here. Hold those knees in towards the chest once again. Hollow out the belly. And then using that core strength, anchor into that powerhouse, as we call it in Pilates. So we're going to bring the feet up towards the ceiling, flexed. Plant the feet on the ceiling. Hold this here, friends. So really anchoring into the mat in our first legs up. So at the end of class, we'll do this again. It'll be a little more restorative. But right now, we're looking to harness the power in the core. Hold this here. Feel free to bend and flex and rotate the ankles, stretch through the feet. Any movement that feels good to you here. Give the feet some love as we get started in our practice today. And then come to stillness. Again, every beautiful space in the vertebrae are draped on the mat here. Hold this here. You may notice the legs. You may notice those lower abdominals. And from here, bringing the knees back to chest. Exhale completely. And let's send one leg to the mat. So sending one leg out long. Other knee is close in towards the body. Feel free to bring that knee out towards the armpit and feel that inner thigh stretch, keeping the other hip rooted and grounded completely on the mat. Draw that knee back to center, cross over the midline. Find a stretch in the side of the hip. Breathe here. And then coming back to center. So we're going to switch sides in much of a Pilates stance. So sending that leg out, drawing the other one in. You got it. So knee to chest, knee towards the armpit, knee coming back towards center, crossing the midline, finding that stretch in the side of the hip. Go as far as it feels good to you here, friends. Settle the shoulders away from the ears. And then coming back to center. We'll do some Pilates style switcheroos here. So pulling the knee into chest and then other knee. So anchoring the core into the mat, hollowing out the belly. Back and forth here. Let's do one more each side. Make sure you're breathing. And then drawing both knees to chest. Let's bring the arms wide again. Dropping the knees to one side any amount. We're hovering here. We're not dropping all the way over to the side. So hover here, really working into that side oblique. And then coming back to center with control. Let's drop to the other side. Again, hovering above the mat. Remember, we're working on core and balance today. Welcome if you're just joining me. Coming back to center, another knees to chest. Give yourself a hug here. And let's bring the legs out long. Full body stretch, fingertips to toes. Stretch long, inhale, and then exhale. Let's bring the feet flat to the mat. And then walk those feet in together, bringing the knees out towards the side. And then gently bringing those hands interlace behind the lower part of the skull. We're going to come into some yoga style sit-ups here. So as we curl the chin towards the belly, we're going to exhale. So take as many as you'd like here. I'm going to start with 5 here today. So let's exhale together, round the spine. Little baby curl, but you may notice a little shimmy shake in the abs. It's completely normal. Let's do a few more. Nice and gentle, no tugging here. We're using the core to draw us up. Great work. One more. And then coming back down to the mat. We're going to take one more. As you come to the top, exhale all that stale air out. Hold this here. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And when you're ready to take that next inhale, coming all the way back down. Beautiful. Help the knees together. and we're gonna roll up. We're gonna roll up into a modified boat. So rolling up and coming to boat, and then coming back down, and then coming back up, balancing on the tailbone. Let's come down once more. We're gonna come to the top of that boat. I'll scoot back in the frame so you can see me. Hold on to the backs of the legs. This is your modified boat here. Hold it here. Anchor into that beautiful core. Breathe. Find the balance on those sits bones. And then bring the toes towards the floor. Sit well. Great job. So sitting and coming to simple seated. So sit, however, is comfortable to you. We're just going to continue to warm up a little bit more. Let's bring ear towards the shoulder. Breathe here. And then chin towards the chest. And then ear to opposite shoulder. And then gaze towards the ceiling. We'll do that in the opposite direction. So back where we started. Nice gentle circle here. Find motion that feels good to your body. And we'll come back around to where we started. Other way. Make sure you're breathing. And then we'll meet back nice and tall. So notice the space you've just created in the neck. Very simple, but pretty powerful. Roll out the shoulders. Drop any cares and concerns behind you. This is your time on the mat today. I hope you're enjoying a nice quiet practice. Listen to the birds this morning. I've got the windows open. I hope you can hear that along with me. Feel free to cue up music if you'd like. Settle those shoulders down. The scapula and the back body come together. Breathe here. Settle. Let's bring the ears and shoulders up together and then drop the shoulders towards the front of the mat, finding a nice circle here. We'll take a couple more right here. And set those shoulders down. So changing up your seated stance, if you're sitting crisscross, moving whatever leg was in the back to the front, let's find some side stretches. So bring the arm up and overhead. Find a nice stretch here. I'm gonna keep this high today because this feels really good on my side body. Feel free to take it a little bit further if you'd like. Make this practice your own. I know sometimes we're nursing injuries, sometimes we're dealing with stress, and what's available in our bodies one day is not available the next. Inhale to rise, exhale to flow. So I always say, give yourself grace. This is a place of grace. Let's find one more each side. I think I took one extra. This could be a whole practice in and of itself, right? And come back to center. Hands to heart. And breathe. We're going to come into staff posture. So we're going to bring the legs out in front of us. We're going to come into a reverse table. And then we're going to come into regular table. So setting the hands about shoulder level and making sure that alignment is nice and good. You'll notice those shoulders will engage, pressing through the hands, stretching through the fingers. Let's bring the feet about hip width apart. Plant the soles on the mat. Stretching through the feet. We're going to lift the pelvis off the mat, or you can just keep this right here. This is a core exercise in and of itself, right? So lifting the pelvis up off the mat if you'd like. Finding your reverse table, gaze is towards the knees. Hollow out the belly here. And then when you're ready, slowly lower back down. And let's do that again. Inhale, rise. Exhale, come back down. Do that again. Inhale, rise. Exhale, back down. Creating heat here. Let's do one more. Inhale, rise. Hold it here. If you'd like, you can take the gaze towards the back of the room if you have no neck issues, or keep the chin towards the chest, and then come back down with care. Stretch the legs out in front of you, staff pose, bring the arms up, hold this here, and then reach towards the toes. They may not reach the toes, that's okay. Plant the hands on the mat, wherever your edge is, and round your spine, drop your head. Seated forward fold. Take another deep breath here. And send that breath out. Walking back up nice and tall, and let's come to regular table. So swinging the legs around, coming to tabletop, coming into cats and cows, our usual way of continuing to warm the body. Inhaling to your cow posture, stretch through that back. And as you exhale, drop the head, eyes are towards the thighs. Exhale completely. Let's do a few more. Inhaling and exhaling. We'll add on here, so from our cow posture, arching into cat, sinking back onto your heels for your first child's pose. Swim the arms around to the back body. We're coming up into a modified camel. So pressing through the tops of the feet and the shins, and coming up and opening the chest, opening the heart here, any amount that feels good to you. And then bring it back down with control. Take a breath here and send it out. With your next inhale, rising up, the chest expands. Exhale, back down into your child's. Keep it here or add on one more camel if you'd like a little more heat. Inhale, rise. And exhale, coming all the way back down. Beautiful. Walk the arms to the front of the mat. Let's walk the hands over towards one corner. Stretch through the side body, opening, breathing into this new space you've created. Exhale. So as we talk about walking with him, let's walk the hands over to the other side. Thinking about your journey with him today, maybe in this posture of surrender, offering up some praise. Let's walk the hands back over to the side we started with, maybe asking him for guidance and something on your journey today. As you exhale, one more, coming to the other side. So a little walking motion in our child's. And then coming back to center. Great. Coming back to tabletop, flow back through. Let's send one leg out behind us, stretching through the toes here, maybe finding a rock here. If you'd like to take a few bows, some yogi push-ups here. We've had yogi sit-ups. Let's add on our yogi push-ups. So pressing down, taking two more if you'd like. Or just finding stillness. Remember, honoring your body and what it feels like doing today. And then bringing that leg back underneath you, wag the tail. So my hips are feeling a little tight today, so stretching through, finding something that feels good to you, and making sure you're keeping the breath moving. Let's send the other leg back. Stretch through the arches of the feet and the calves. It might feel really good if you're a runner or a walker to stretch through those legs. And let's find that bow again. Option here, pressing, and then coming back to where we started. Press. Doing that again. And then bringing that leg back underneath you. Wag the tail, stretch through the hips. We're going to come into dolphin posture. So we're going to plant the forearms on the mat. We're going to spread the fingers wide, or you can bring those fingertips together like you're pointing towards the front of the mat. You can hold this here, feel this stretch, pulling the core in towards the pit of the spine, or coming into dolphin, curl the toes, send the tailbone high. So those heels will still ride high here, friends. It's not like a normal down dog in dolphin, the heels are high. So drop the crown of the head towards the mat. If you'd like, we're going to add on some dolphin crunches here. So bringing the shins down, hover above the mat, hold it here. And on your exhale, press up. Do that again, 4 more times. Great job. We're in this together, friends. Hold it here. But keep the breath flowing. And then hover once more. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And then bring the knees down to the mat. Nice and gentle. No crash landings here. Coming back to your tabletop, we're going to make our way to a forward fold. standing forward fold. So let's walk the hands back to meet the feet, or feet to hands, and you're in your fold. Feel free to hang here, coming into ragdoll if that's a part of your practice. Feel free to bend the knees as much as you'd like. Using your blocker or bolster to balance the hands on here. I'm gonna grab my block, I'll show you that. You can tabletop the body here. Coming into a halfway lift, lots of options. And breathe. One more breath here. Last breath. And bring the crown towards the mat. We're going to gently roll up one vertebra at a time, like you're stacking building blocks, coming up and coming up with care until we're at the top. And you're in your tall mountain. So standing tall and beautiful, good posture and alignment here, making sure the shoulders are tracking right over those pointed fingers and they're right in line with the heels. I'll turn to face you guys. Hello. Breathe here. And then inhale, hands rise up, and then come to heart center. And we'll do that again. Inhale, rise, and hands to heart. Once more, inhale, exhale. Getting that breath going this morning. We're gonna come into side angle, have your block handy. So as we walk the feet into our side angle posture and adjusting our fun pants, because that's always important. So here's your side angle. You can bring that arm to the inside of the knee on the bent leg and then swim that top arm up and around. Hold this here. Or if you'd like a little more core work this morning, letting go of that top arm and the bottom arm, or maybe swimming the bottom arm up to meet the top, like you're holding a little ball here above your head and really opening the chest here. This is work. Hold this and breathe. I'm in it with you, friends. One more breath here. And then coming back down to that supported side angle, you might want to swim the top arm up and around. And then let's drop that top arm back behind the back body. Maybe it touches the hip, or maybe it wraps around. And we're just going to gently open through the chest. If you can gaze towards the ceiling, do that, or gaze straight ahead. Breathe. One more breath here. And you might know where we're going. We're going to cartwheel the arms to the other side. So bringing that arm down, the hands meet, they come up and around. We're stopping in star, and then we're coming to the other side. So coming into side angle, same options. You can have your supported side angle. You can swim that top arm up and around. You can bring that arm up to meet it like you're holding that ball. Again, working on core strength here, opening through the heart and the chest. Breathe here. Hold it here, core and balance. We're working it all, friends. Another breath. And then coming back down into that supported side angle. Taking that top arm, bringing it to the hip or dropping it behind the back body. Opening through the heart and the chest here, activating energy within the body. Gaze can be towards the ceiling or straight ahead. Do what feels best on your neck this morning and honor that temple well, right? Self-care is soul care. Another breath here. And then swimming the arms up and around. We're going to do that other side again. So coming back to where we started and finding those same options as before. You remember those. Bring those arms up. Hold it here. Hold. Maybe take it a little bit deeper if you'd like. Always an option. Coming back down into that supported posture, dropping that hand back behind you if you'd like. You may notice coming back to this first side, you have a little more give and stretch. Or maybe not, but giving yourself grace here. Breathe. It's time to find our cartwheel. So bringing it up and around, finding your supported side angle on the other side. Again, option to wrap or keeping those arms extended. Find the version that works best for you. This is most activating. This is a little less challenging, but still getting a lot of work done. Opening through the heart. Breathe. You've got this. Another breath. And coming up and around, meeting in star. Heel toeing the feet in together. And then stepping in place, sitting back in that chair, taking some chair twists. Open to one side. Coming back to center. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, sit back in chair. Twist on the other side. Open through the heart. Don't have to go very far. I'm keeping this high today. Still getting that great core workout. Do one more set. Inhale. Exhale, sit in chair. Find your heart opener. Coming back to center, rising up. Sit back in chair. Another twist. Open here. Breathe. And coming back to center. So staying in chair or coming into your deep squat. So coming down, walking the feet wide, or if you'd like, have that block handy, ready to meet you, or find your balance on your toes here. And we're gonna practice that same heart opener in our squat. So again, you can be seated on the block, or on the toes, or sitting back on the heels, depending on the flexibility in your legs. And let's find our heart opener here. So inhaling, and then exhaling, finding that twist. So keeping the thumbs towards the breastbone. Finding the heart opener here that feels good to you. Working on balance, working on core. Come back to center with your next breath. Take a breath in the middle here. Legs may be talking to you. We got one more side to conquer. Let's come to it. Finding your twist in your garland or malasana. Great work. And coming back to center, planting the hands, having a seat. Good, good work, everyone. So we're coming into shoelace. So crossing one leg over the other, you can sit well, sit tall. Maybe the knees meet. Maybe you can continue to find that crossing of the knees here where they're stacked on top of one another. If this is not available to you, again, sit tall, or feel free to have the feet out in front of you, knees bent. If you'd like to come into shoelace, stacking the knees. If you need more of a challenge here in shoelace, you can actually bring the feet more in line with the short edge of the mat. So you actually have like a parallel space right here in front of the legs. Again, this is more challenging, but find where it works best for you. So we're gonna hold this here and just find your breath again. So again, as we are flowing today, thinking about reflecting on our walk with Christ, let me share our focus scripture once again with you. Micah 6:8. He has told you, O man, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you but to do justice, and to love kindness, and to walk humbly with your God. One more breath. Send the breath out completely. We're switching sides. So whatever leg was on top becomes the leg on the bottom. Again, you can sit tall here and just find a nice seated posture, or stacking the knees one on top of the other. You can draw the feet in close to the body. You can stretch them further away. Give yourself lots of love and grace here. Feel free to place a block in between the knees. Find something that feels comfortable to you. Hold it here, shoelace, other side. Let me guide us through a breath prayer while we're here. So this comes from Psalm 119, 105. So inhale, your word is a lamp to my feet. Exhale, and a light to my path. Inhaling, your word is a lamp to my feet. And exhale, and a light to my path. Psalm 119, 105. Another breath here in shoelace. And then helping the legs along, unwind. We're going to come back into boat. We did a modified boat at the front of class, and now that we're more warmed up, we're gonna add on to that. So finding your boat, find your sits bones, sit well, adjust the upholstery, so find what feels good here, and sit tall, friends. And this may be enough for today. You're like, I'm all boated out, I'm good. But if you'd like a little bit more, feel free to find that balance, maybe lifting one foot, lifting the other, holding on behind the legs if that's good, bringing the arms out to the side, maybe stretching long, maybe reaching for those big toes. Y'all, there's so many options here. So find the boat that works for you. Find some balance. If you could do this all day long, bring those hands away from the feet. See how that goes. Breathe here. From here, bend the knees. Plant the feet, drape the body over the knees. Take a breath. Send the breath out. And let's find boat once again. So maybe doing something a little different this time. Maybe finding a different version of your boat. We're gonna find a boat and canoe flow here. So we're gonna stretch out long, that's our canoe. We're gonna pull it all in, that's our boat. So we're gonna do that together here. So stretch out long. Exhale, pull it in. Keep going. Stretch long. Exhale. Do it again. Ooh. One more. And hold it, hold it, hold it. Find that balance. And then drop to the feet. Drape the body. Take a breath. And send the breath out. You did it. We're making our way back to the floor. So coming back down, coming with care, rolling down one vertebra at a time. Let's bring the soles of the feet together again, coming into that yogi sit-up once more. Interlacing the fingers, finding your sit-up here. So try 5 of those here. Exhale as you come up. Three. 2 more, friends. You got it. Stretching out nice and long once again. Full body stretch. And let it go. We're going to come into a modified bridge. So bringing the feet about hip width apart. If you'd like full bridge and would like to come into that, feel free to do that here. Or modified, taking that block or pillow or bolster, placing it underneath the sacrum, the lumbar spine here. And then lifting the pelvis off the mat a little bit further if you'd like, or holding it here in your modified bridge. I just open through the chest, snuggle the shoulder blades underneath the back body just to create more room and expansion in the chest. Try that if it feels good to you. Bring the arms away from the body, or if you like, you can bring the hands together, interlace them underneath the back body. Do what feels best to you. Breathe. Settle. Another breath here. One more. And then bringing the arms away from the body. We're going to come into legs up with the block. So keeping that block underneath the lumbar spine, drawing the knees towards the chest. You felt that core kick in to get you there, right? And then we're going to bring the feet up towards the ceiling. Flex. Hold it here. This is your legs up with the block. So here, we're not only working on core, we're working on balance and having to concentrate and focus. Did you know that yoga helps with focus and concentration and anxiety and all the things that we need help with? We need the Lord's help, and yoga is a tool in the toolbox, friends. I love it. Hold it here. Another breath. And then coming back down, bending the knees, drawing the knees towards the chest. Plant the feet on the mat. Lift the pelvis. Let's scoot that block away from the body. And then draw the knees towards the chest. We're going to do that hover again, that nice twist. So bring the arms wide, drop the knees to one side, hover above your mat. Hold it here. Feel that core kick in once again. I hope you'll feel this tomorrow in a good way. Draw the knees back to chest. Exhale, drop in on the other side. Coming back to center, we'll do that again. Drop to one side, hover, and then coming back to center. Nice and controlled here, friends. No dropping like a ton of bricks. More like a controlled move here. Coming back to center. Give yourself a hug. Job well done. Job well done, friends. We're making our way to Shavasana. So if you really liked legs up at the start of class, where you kick those legs up towards the ceiling, had the arms out wide, grab a chair and maybe plant the feet in the chair, the calves and the feet. Feel free to find a wall in your room, bring those legs up against the wall, maybe drape a blanket over yourself. We're coming into Shavasana. Shavasana is our final resting posture. Friends, you may want to come to legs up. Feel free to stretch out long on your back, come to your favorite side, and cradle the head with the arms. Or some of my students love to be on their tummies in Shavasana. So coming tummy down and making a pillow for yourself with your hands and just resting. So as we come into the restorative part of our class, I'd like you to get cozy and comfortable. Feel free to cover up. Again, blankets, pillows, whatever you need here. It's kind of like you're preparing for your yoga slumber party, right? Micah 6:8. He has told you, O man, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you but to do justice, and to love kindness, and to walk humbly with your God? So friends, as you come into rest here, taking a couple of breaths, allowing your body to settle into your space, whether you're on your side, your back, your tummy, wherever you might be. Legs up. Breathe. And as you take that next breath, imagine sending light and energy and breath into just the left side of the body, breathing all the way into the fingertips and the toes. Breathe here. And with your next breath, imagine breathing in His strength and His power. And as you exhale, sending that light and energy and love from God into every part of the right hemisphere of the body. Breathe here. And with your next breath, breathing in His strength and exhaling His strength into the entire body. The left and the right hemispheres united. Breathing well here. I'm going to share our closing meditation and a few scriptures. Close the eyes if that feels comfortable. This is a place of rest. And your ears shall hear a word behind you saying, "This is the way, walk in it." And when you turn to the right, and when you turn to the left. Isaiah 30:21. From John 8. Again, Jesus spoke to them, saying, "I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life." John 8:12. Deuteronomy 10. And now, Israel, what does the Lord require of you but to fear the Lord your God, to walk in all His ways and love Him, and to serve the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul, and to keep the Lord's commandments and His statutes. So this is week 1 of my series on walking with Jesus. And this week, focusing on what it means to walk with Him, what it means to fear the Lord. Fearing the Lord means standing in awe. Standing in awe with a reverent honor of His holiness. Breathe that truth in here, friends. Fearing the Lord your God. standing in awe with a reverent honor of his holiness. Knowing who we are and whose we are, and by his grace we walk worthy, not because we have to do something, but because he loves us. Because he loves us. So friends, remembering to model Jesus' example in the word of prayer, silence, solitude, fasting, and honoring the Sabbath. Let's adopt his lifestyle. Let's be his apprentices together. Let's walk the walk with Christ. Matthew 11. Are you tired, worn out, or burned out on religion? Come to me. Get away with me and you'll recover your life. I'll show you how to take a real rest. Walk with me and work with me. Watch how I do it. Learn the unforced rhythms of grace. I won't lay anything heavy or ill-fitting on you. Keep company with me and you'll learn to live freely and lightly. Continue to enjoy this sacred space on your mat, friends. I'm going to close our time in prayer, but continue to linger right where you are. Father, help us to live this day to the full, being true to you in every way. Jesus, help us to give ourselves away to others, being kind to everyone we meet. And Spirit, help us to love the lost, proclaiming Christ in all we do and say. Amen. So friends, stay in Shavasana as long as you like. Don't skimp on the Shavasana. When you're ready to awaken, you're going to start with gentle movements, maybe in the fingers and the toes, maybe taking a couple of swallows to moisten the throat, and taking your time, moving slowly, making your way to a seated posture, maybe bringing the hands to heart center, closing the eyes or keeping the eyes closed. And friends, as we end our class today, I love to share the word shalom, which means peace. And I thank you all for joining me. And I pray that today that you walk your walk with him, and know, friends, that we are on the journey together. So much love and peace and grace. Be well. Shalom.